What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous Georgian Goes are back with Big Ben Rothwell coming off this past weekend. BKFC 56 card. Big Ben was not able to perform. Let's talk about it, Big Ben. You got ill during fight week because we actually spoke to you about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Everything seemed to be all systems go. What happened, man? You just someone on the plane or just a common cold? What happened?
Nope. So real quick, I'll just give this quick fact. You can look it up. Right now in my area, Wisconsin, we're facing the highest cases of the COVID and flu ever.
Oh, wow.
Not just for the year, but like ever. Highest amount of cases. And I got a not quite a 3-year-old and a little baby. He does daycare. So not blaming him either. It's just that anyone with children know. That definitely increases your chances. So just doing our best to be healthy and everything like that. Everything's been good. I've been doing awesome. And then Sunday night rolls around. He starts getting sick. I get worried. I panic. Monday, it's starting to get worse. So I call my management and we talk to Dave. You know, they're like, let's just see, maybe it passes. So we're trying, right? So Tuesday rolls around and I'm like, we got a problem, right? Sorry, I'm just like thinking about this. I think I got my days messed up. I think it was like all Monday. Tuesday we call. So like I said, I was a wreck the week, and it's kind of hard for me to even tell you kind of 100% how things were going, because all I know is on Tuesday we're trying, right? And Dave Feldman's even like, hey, here's some options. Let's try to, do this to see if we can still make the fight. And I'm like, yeah, I want to do it more than anything. But on Tuesday it was pretty clear, especially by the afternoon. This was all happening in the morning. By the afternoon, it was like, there's no way. And we called it, and because Wednesday I was laid out. Like Wednesday, Thursday, I had the flu. Like I was laid out. There was nothing happening. No commission on the planet was going to okay me to fight in that condition anyway. Mm-hmm. I know Todd made a comment about fighting with COVID. I don't know why he said that. Like, why would you say you knowingly fought with COVID? Like, no, you didn't. like, that's all I want to say. Like, and if you did, that sucks for your opponent and all that. Like, I just, not only do I want to not fight at my best, obviously, I've fought with injuries. I probably fought with colds before, stuff like that. But there's just some things that it's just not going to work. And then risking getting, infecting everybody on the plane, everybody at the fight, all the BKFC staff, and like, it just feels pretty selfish if you just knowingly subject everybody to that anyway. Pretty irresponsible. I don't do any of those things. And I wasn't moving. Like Wednesday and Thursday, it was a mess. Dave made comments. Todd Duffy made comments about, I lost at Thanksgiving, my weight, and this and that. And it's hilarious. It's like, dude, I have over 50 fights, and I waited at 265 on those fights. And I walk around big all the time. I've always cut weight. That's just everybody. Everybody knows that. I've been doing this for a long time. I always cut weight, and I made 265 then. This fight was at 275. It's like, that ain't a fucking problem, man. I'll make the weight. But when you have the flu and you're laid out sick, that doesn't fucking matter. Mm-hmm. I think he mostly is just upset. I've been there too. I've been on both ends of this. I've had guys pull out, not just a week out, not just whatever. I got on the scale, I weighed in, I sat down, and UFC officials come to me and go, yeah, your guy's out. Oh. So it's like, I've been there. Okay. I've had whole promotions cancel on me the week of the fight, affliction. I've been through it all, and I've unfortunately on this end, I've had more people pull out against me and had promotions cancel and all that kind of thing more than I pulled out. This is only the second time I pulled out in my 24 years, over 50 professional fights. This is only the second time I pulled out with illness. The other time was against Crow Cop in like my second UFC fight. And then I've had, I think, two injuries. One was my shoulder, and then I think something random over the years. So it's pretty good. If you look how many fights I got, I'd say I still got a pretty good record of being there and showing up. So it just sucks. It was really bad timing, and no one's more heartbroken about it than me.
Are you feeling fine now?
I'm mouthy right now, so yeah. I got that pent up energy now. I watched the fight Saturday. I was feeling like even by Friday, it sucks. It's like Friday. I'm walking around, I'm feeling better. Come on. You don't recover enough. You just don't recover like that.
What do you want to do now?
Nick Terrell.
You said you saw the fight, so there's a new champ, and but David Feldman also said something about rebooking you and Todd for February. What would you like now?
Hey, Todd and I are kind of under the impression that that's what's happening, right? But it's also my job to build this heavyweight division, and Mick Terrell is the guy. He has ultimately what I'm fighting for. Like that's what he's holding on to that belt. We need to get it. I'm pretty sure the promotion had promised Arnold Adams and Mick Terrell that fight. And I think because if you didn't look, dude, I got lots of people going, couldn't even believe I wasn't fighting for the title already. Numerous comments and BKFC fans saying that. I'm pretty sure that was a thing that was promised to those two, and now it's done and over with. And now here I am. And in my mind, beating Josh Copeland, I already beat the second best heavyweight. So I already earned my spot. And why am I going to fight anybody else when I know I'll beat the champ right now? Like he's holding my belt. And also, him and I have a chance to really, make the biggest BKFC heavyweight fight ever with the two biggest guys doing battle. What better is that? But there's this talk of, he wants to fight a 185-pound guy. Dude, that's not what the heavyweight division needs right now. That's a lose-lose situation for Mick Terrell. Okay? He wins, he's supposed to win. He loses, bro, that's the career ending. Don't do that shit. You come fight the other biggest heavyweight. And I think it's a fight that people will really be excited about. It's everything you want out of a heavyweight fight. Two guys that fight one way, and the fans really are going to get what they want. And that's what I bring to the table with any of my opponents. You know what you're going to get when you get me when I fight.
Have you already expressed this to David Feldman that you want to basically bypass rebooking with Duffy and just fight for the title?
Yeah, look. I'm down forever. Todd is Todd. It's who I'm geared up to fight, and I want to fight as soon as possible. But if their promotion's like, well, this is what we want, something, when you fight heavyweight title fight, then I'm down. Let's do the heavyweight title fight. I don't want to happen is have to wait 6 months. That would be pretty rough on me. Okay. But if we can get it for me, ultimately, is can I get a fight in February, March? That's what that's what we need to happen right now.
Mm-hmm. But Feldman knows you just want to fight for the title. That's your preference, is what I'm saying, right?
It's up from the get-go. When I came to this organization, he knows that's what this was about. I'm not here to. You hear some of the other guys in the other weight classes and some of our bigger stars. They're like, "Hey man, it's about a payday. I don't care about belts. Blah blah blah." Like, yeah, they kind of been here, done that, whatever. I'm here to build BKFC, and I'm here to build this organization to the highest level. And I'm going to do that by getting the BKFC heavyweight belt. That's when I want to thrust myself in with the fans and help the promotion. I don't want to do it as just some guy. I want to do it as their champion. And I want to be the best champion they ever had for the heavyweight division.
Big Ben Rothwell, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. What do you have for Big Ben?
Ben, you said you watched the pay-per-view. Can you express maybe what that was like? And did you feel like many others, of course we were disappointed you weren't on the card, but the card was still really huge and that main event was great. How big of a step do you feel like the organization that you want to build took that night?
Oh, epic. It's just like the April card I was on. Yeah, it's just more heartbreaking for me because I really feel like my fight as a co-main event really was going to just up the entire experience. And then just absolute hats off to Eddie Alvarez and Platinum Perry. What an incredible 2 rounds delivered and just made, I believe it's made even more fan. Anyone who watched, that for me, it was awesome because I see this all the time. Watching the events live is nothing like seeing it on TV. I could only watch it on TV, and I got excited. I can't imagine what the crowd at Salt Lake City was like. The place must have just been epic, just on their feet. So I think it was a great night for BKFC as a whole, and I'm just super excited. Yeah, watching the whole event, and I'm just sitting there like it was like it's this bittersweet feeling. Like I'm so happy. These fights are awesome. I had a group, family was there watching with me. Everybody was excited and into it. But then, of course, I'm devastated that I'm not there being a part of it.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like no matter what, whether the next one's for a belt or not, you're just going to probably end up fighting Todd Duffy at some point anyway?
And honestly, Todd and I have had, like, outside of us having to compete against each other, he's a good guy. We have a good relationship. Like, we've been talking, and we're like I explained with my guys, I'm a little bit this age now. There's not this. It'd be really hard to get that true animosity of me out on you. Todd and I, it's like we're competitors, just like Josh Copeland. Look at that guy came to take me out. You know what I mean? But everything before and after the fight, Josh Copeland's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet and talk to. I like to have that same appeal outside of the fight, after the fight. I want to be the nicest guys you ever met. I care about human beings. That's what it's about. Inside, I'm one of the most ferocious human beings you could ever have standing across from you. And that just comes with being a professional and doing this so long. Todd Duffy has that too. As a person, it's like I want him to make money. This is my fault. I cost him and I an opportunity and money. Really, really sucks for me. I have to live with that. So if I give him an opportunity to make, like, for us to both make money again, absolutely. Like, I want that for both of us. Mm-hmm. At the same time, I'm not trying to down him. Like, I want that. As far as I know, that fight was happening in February. That's what him and I are planning on. But we know nothing matters until contracts are signed. And if Mick Terrell pushes this and they need me to fight him, then I need to go fight him.
Ben, so again, we were talking about just how much fun the card was. And I know that you've helped, you've promoted fights before. Maybe you can help us with a little bit of one of the topics that we had. And it was outside of the guys that aren't in BKFC that are maybe available or towards the end of their contracts in another organization, who's like one guy you think that could really come in and be a star at BKFC?
Probably a question I should have put some thought into, knowing you guys would come in with this. Platinum Perry's the one, he's promoting some of those guys. You heard him name drop Masvidal and Anthony Pettis. I just think they're going to bring eyes to it. They're going to help us promote it. But you said the key thing is come in and do well. I don't know. All I know is this isn't what you think it is until you do it. And I just knew I've had a lot of street fights. I've hit people with bare knuckles. I've been hit with bare knuckles. I didn't just come into this like not knowing. As you can see, I came in very natural. Like, this is natural. I like this and I'm good at this. And I want to prove I'm one of the best in the world at this. It is not for everybody. And I know very good fighters that have great jiu-jitsu. They can use their other skills, especially with MMA. And they get hit, and they're just not quite the same. Then you take getting hit with a bare knuckle. It magnifies all those negative things. You've heard Platinum talk about this. Like, getting hit with a 4-ounce glove is not like getting hit with a 16-ounce glove. Like, they're different too, for sure. But going from a 4-ounce glove to a bare knuckle, believe it or not, it's its own thing. It's its own. I don't know the best way to explain it. Like, nothing you can experience before, and not something you can't train it either, unless you're totally out of your mind and you don't train bare knuckle with somebody. You don't spar bare knuckle. It's not going to happen. So your only time to really learn this is in the real fight. And when you get hit, you just got to know how are you going to react. You don't know. You think you know. You tell yourself you're going to know, but you got to find out. And my Josh Copeland fight was huge because I got a huge cut in the first 5 seconds of the fight. Absolutely the worst thing that could happen. And I ended up fighting for 3 rounds and really turning that fight around on him. So I proved a lot to him and David Feldman. That's a big thing for David Feldman. Because he's seen this more than me and anybody. All these guys say one thing, they think one thing, they come in, they get hit, and they're just not the same, and they crumble. So this is This is only for a select few individuals. That's a fact. And
Todd
I'm one
Duffy
of them.
Todd Duffy told us he was training with Josh Copeland.
Who? I got to think about your question. I don't know because it's not an easy question to answer.
Todd Duffy was telling us that
You think about heavyweights? I have no idea. There's some out there, but I think they're all signed with other people right now. So what free agents? That's you guys are supposed to tell me. That's your job.
Well, I think Tai Tuivasa would do well at it, but he's in the UFC still doing his thing.
He's in the UFC still, but I think that's the kind of like a Mark Hunt, like that's that type of guy. They're just like a tough. Like Roy Nelson was, I think, Will talking about. Like Roy Nelson has that type of toughness. You know.
Here's a wild card. You ready for this one, guys? I'm gonna wow both of you, but I think when you hear it, you absorb it, you think about it. I think you guys are gonna tell me that deserves a fist bump. Ready, guys? Brian Barberina, UFC welterweight.
Sure.
That guy loves to throw hands, and he's tough, man.
Okay.
No?
Is he still at the UFC?
Yeah, half
a fist bump. Well, you know, of course, there's your Matt Browns of the world, Robbie Lawlers of the world. You know, Robbie Lawler retired from MMA, but I wonder if he would want to do bare-knuckle. See, I think a lot of it has to do with just the wear and tear from mixed martial arts training. There's maybe these injuries, shoulders, back, necks. When now, if all you have to do is work on your cardio and your hands, you know, that might extend your shelf life and give you a few years in this other sport. Am I close, Big Ben? Something like that?
Well, that's true for me. I've told you guys that repeatedly. The wrestling and jiu-jitsu are just, I can do it for fun, but when I'm training for a fight, you turn it up in such a level. And yeah, that's where the injuries happen. Things go wrong, especially when you're doing it with somebody your size or bigger. Believe it or not, my training, you see my guy corner me, and he's bigger than me. And when him and I would wrestle and do jiu-jitsu, people cringed every time we hit the ground because it's just like, yeah, man, you land wrong one time, that's a limb. That's it. And for me, at this point in my career, those are career-ending injuries at this point in time. Yeah, I am very thankful. I don't worry about none of that right now. Like anything, any of us can get injured doing anything, but at least I've substantially lowered the risks that I was putting myself into before. And this is what took me out, not some crazy injury. I got sick. That could happen to anybody. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of a freak thing. Not really in Wisconsin right now, but it sucks. Right. And I'm with you though. I really am enjoying it. You see talk like that. I wonder about Cowboy Cerrone. I wonder if he's still in the mix. I know he was somebody they were looking at. I don't know if he got mad when Conor McGregor came into the ring that night. Because Cowboy was there, and I think Cowboy was the guy that was supposed to get in the ring with Platinum that night. Mm-hmm. But then Conor McGregor showed up.
Yeah.
But Cowboy's a guy that I think could bring to answer your question, him. I'll use him. I think he's a good candidate. He does all the things that we need. He's got the fan base. He's going to do a good fight. So.
Well, since you answered a question I asked 10 minutes ago, I'm going to make a comment about something you said 15 minutes ago. Man, aside from wanting to get down with all the best in the world, when you said Crow Cop, I just thought, I wonder what it's like when you stand there, if you come out first and then Crow Cop walks in, you hear Wild Boys by Duran Duran. You know, it's kind of his thing or whatever, but man, in a way, aside from the fight, I'm sure there's a few things fighters geek out on when they fight other legends. You know what I mean?
I try not to think about it. when I was in that position, no, I wouldn't give a shit about his music because you already know. Especially when I was supposed to fight him in Australia. The whole arena was going to be there for him. I was going to get booed, and you just got to go into it like, yep. You know, I fought before I really got big. My big breakout fight was I fought in the Gracie Fighting Championships against Dan Bobish. And it was in Michigan, which was like his hometown. So it was they sold out the arena. It was 10,000 people. And that whole place just roared booze upon me. And I came out. And that was my first real, fighting that front of many people and getting booed that hard before. And I just was like, you can't even give that stuff a second thought because then you're not focused on what you need to do. And what did I do? I knocked him out with a fucking knee 4 minutes in, and that whole arena did the opposite, and I got that whole arena to cheer for me. So just like that, they forgot about him. That's how they are. So I don't even sweat it.
You should have grabbed the mic and said, "Just how I knocked out your boy. The University of Wisconsin are going to knock Michigan out in football. What's up now?"
Yeah, they turned total heel. It's been like the ultimate heel that night.
Always good chatting with you. I'm glad you're healthy, and I hope you get those big fights. Honestly, I'm selfishly hoping you get the title fight first, and then Duffy next, and then of course we want Duffy to fight someone. You're right. A lot of this probably had to do with the payday, man. The payday it didn't land.
Well, both of us.
You say things when in the heat of the moment. I can't imagine he doesn't respect you, because we spoke to him after we spoke to you, and he was excited to fight you. He never said a bad word about you. So
yeah,
right.
It's mutual. It's mutual, and I can only be so sorry, man. I cost both of us, and of course the stuff he was saying. He told me after we talked after the press conference. He's like, "Man, I just try to build our fight." He's like, "I gotta say shit," and I'm like, "I get it, man. We gotta do it." So, but thank you guys. Hey, man.
All right.
Like, to get this title fight, it comes because I have awesome media like you. Thank you, Junkie Nation. I hope you guys put it out there. Hope we get in David Feldman's ear and they make this fight. And I'll fight him anywhere, because I'm pretty sure they want Big Ben to fight in London. Big Ben has to show Mick Terrell what time it is.
That's a good idea. I like that connection. All right, Big Ben. Thanks for the time, man. Talk to you soon.